Hey there, folks. Alex from East to West Hunts here. Today I want to talk about Colorado. Okay, it's recently open for tag applications. The mailers have come out. It's an exciting time. Okay, if you haven't hunted Colorado before, you're probably thinking about it. And if you've never hunted elk before, you're probably thinking about it. Or it might just be something that you've hunted for years and it's a staple to your plan. Okay, those are probably the 2 to 3 reasons of why Colorado is a constant thought for Western hunting. Okay, I'll add this. Probably the biggest proponent of that is over-the-counter elk tags. Okay, and you could argue that, but most people start with 0 points and get involved in Colorado because they can get a tag in hand. So, goal today, just giving you a general overview of how the application process works for deer and elk, and just giving you an idea of how you can use it or manipulate some of the variables in your favor. So stay tuned to that as that kind of gets pieced together as we go along to this. So first thing to know, cost of entry. If you want to buy a ticket to the ball game to get involved in the Colorado Stadium, $105. With that said, that comes sent to your house, or you can pick it up at the local store if you live in Colorado, or you're going there and you're going to end up getting a tag, whatever the case is. Now, Colorado is unique because they give out a ton of non-resident tags. 35% of tags are allocated to non-residents, okay? That's unheard of. That's so many, okay? Most states give you like 10 or less, okay? So be thankful if you're a non-resident to Colorado because they get you in the game, okay? Now, Colorado is a beautiful state. It's an awesome state. It also, realistically, will give you a lot of hunters in the field, okay, depending on the season. So it's important to know how you utilize the tag application strategy just for Colorado alone and how to really manipulate it for yourself. So with that, we're going to start off with points, okay? Colorado does something called preference points, not bonus points or no points, okay? They have preference points, and really what it means is if you have more points than me, you get preferential treatment over me, okay? So how do you know, though, who's going to get the tag? Well, all the information's online. Now, obviously, I'm a data nerd, and I'm doing this for clients, and I'm dealing with all the BS that you don't necessarily have to, but that's really the way that you got to look at it. You got to look at who drew what from the prior years and figure out how many points that required. And also, not every unit is managed the same. Some units are managed for over-the-counter opportunity. Some of them have more liberal tag quotas, and some of them are really trophy quality units where they require a ton of preference points to get in there. Okay, they might offer 10 non-resident tags for a season. It's going to be a tough unit to draw. So, not going to get too deep in the weeds there, but you got to think about those things. When it comes to how you apply, we're going to play out this scenario. This year, you have no points. You've never applied to Colorado, okay? So you have the opportunity to put 4 different selections on your ballot, essentially, to apply, okay? Now, your first choice should be one of 2 things. It should be a tag that you really want to get in hand, or it should be preference points, okay? And you can select either or. I'll tell you why. If you know that you could maybe draw a tag with 0 points and you want to hunt in this unit, put that as your first choice, as your primary choice. And then put your less desired choices as your second, third, or fourth. Now here's one thing that I would tell you. The second choice matters. Third and fourth, like I don't really know that you'd want a third or fourth tag. I mean, that's like really leftover. It's got funky stuff going on to it, but it'll get you out in the field. Just to me, second choice is probably the furthest that I'll go. Anyways, don't worry about me, worry about you, but that's just my thought. So let's go back. Primary choice is a tag that you would really, really want to hunt and that you maybe think you could draw. Or you put in for a preference point. And the reason for that is because if you put in for a preference point, you're going to gain that point because that's your primary goal. And then you can put in a secondary choice for a tag that you maybe think you could draw as a secondary opportunity. And the secondary opportunity means there might be some leftover tags that weren't put in for on the primary aspect, right? So it just would mean that there would be some leftover tags to it. If you draw that secondary tag, you don't lose any points, okay? And that's something really, really important to know. So if you had applied for 10 years and you had 10 points, and then you put in for a tag that you think you were going to draw with 10 points and you didn't, and then you got a secondary tag, you would go in next year with 11 points. You don't lose any of those points, and you'd still get that tag to go hunt on the secondary choice, okay? Super important to know. Now, let's play out this scenario because I really want you to think about this, and I think this is important. What if you apply for deer and elk? You have 0 points. You put in for preference points for both of them as your primary, and then you put in for secondary choices, and you don't draw either of them, but you still want to go hunt. Okay, you can. That's where elk over-the-counter tags come in, okay? And the reason is because you know what the dates will be, and you know what kind of weapon you're going to choose, and you can bank on the fact that you can get out there, okay? Plus, you've already paid for the non-resident license, okay? That $105 that you paid to get into the ball game, you still have that, so you might as well use it, okay? So now you have a choice to say, do I want to hunt with a bow? Because I can archery hunt from September 2nd through the 30th. I mean, that's a month-long season. Bless you if you can hunt for a month. That's amazing. I can't, but 10 days? Yeah, I can swing that. Okay. Then, second season rifle. Okay. Second season rifle is October 28th. Okay. And you don't get as wide open of a season, but you get a week. And then your third season is November 15th. And then you get another week there. So you get to pick which one of those you want as your over-the-counter tag, okay? And then, here's what you need to know. With an over-the-counter tag, you can't hunt every unit in the state. There are select units throughout the state that are open for archery, antlerless, or antlered tags for those seasons. So you got to know that. But if you know what unit you want to go into or what units you want to scout and potentially hunt, and they're over-the-counter units, that's awesome. And that's really how you got to play that game. So Colorado truly can become your primary choice for the season. It could be a backup plan if you draw any secondary choices, or it could be like your real backup plan if you don't draw any tags, okay? So I'll give you a scenario for myself, okay? I'm playing this out actually currently for this year, so I'm going to use a real life example, okay? Planned on hunting in Arizona, didn't draw a tag, okay? That totally threw out my September. So now we have Montana, we have Colorado, we have New Mexico, we have Nevada, we have Utah. They're all going to be opening up soon. And the reality is you really got to look at the dates of when the draw results come out, okay? Now, the awesome thing with Colorado is they post their results June 1st or somewhere around that point. And then, worst case scenario, I can go apply to all these other states, but worst case scenario is if I apply to all of them and I find out that I drew any tags in any of those other states, I will then find out in Colorado if I drew or not what I wanted to hunt. And if I drew anything better in those other states, I can go hunt those states and I can return or surrender my Colorado tag and regain all my points and get a refund for my tag if I return it within a certain time period, which is by June 6th. So June 1st to June 6th, you got about 5 days that you can surrender that tag. So I'm using that personally for myself, and I'm utilizing that in a tag application strategy with clients because it's important to know that you can rely on that later turn of events of results and have that as your true backup plan. I know Colorado doesn't want to be a backup plan, but the reality of that is it's very nice the way that the system's structured because it gives you the opportunity to make it whatever you want it to be, okay? So that part's really, really important to know because an over-the-counter tag can really just be like, gosh, this is the only state I'm hunting, or it could be that I don't have anything else, and this is what I want to go do now because I want to get out in the field. And you got 3 different opportunities for it. So if I got your wheels spinning a little bit, that's the goal. If you haven't thought about these things or you didn't know about those things, I'm glad. You know, a point of these videos is to just give you some ideas and some general overviews and just get you thinking. So if you have thoughts, questions, comments, please post them below. You know, in all honesty, I'm putting these videos out there. I'm just getting my feet wet on YouTube, so I would really appreciate the likes and subscribes if you're getting some value out of this, as I'm going to continue to post more videos and eventually do a lot more with this as well, not just on social media. So appreciate the support. With that said, until next time, remember to scout, hunt, and repeat. Thanks.